Good evening and welcome back to Etown News. I'm Ella Kocher.
And I'm Phillip. Etown's Power of One Day, open mic night at Bowers Writing House, and more coming up after this.
Visit the High Library today for a sneak peek at its brand new classification system. This summer, the High Library is turning over a new leaf. Librarians are working to reclassify books from the Dewey Decimal System to the Library of Congress system. The shift will increase browsability and make researching titles a breeze. Check out the sample display on the main floor of the library by the stairs.
March is Women's History Month, and Etown has a lineup of activities prepared in celebration. This year's International Women's Day took place on March 8th, but with that date falling over spring break, Etown honored the occasion early on February 26th. The theme for the occasion was Lift, Empower, and Accelerate Action. In a collaboration between Recwell, OSA, and International Student Services, Etown hosted a variety of events across campus. Etown students of all genders came out to take part in self-care stations, crafting, and photo booth opportunities, all under purple balloons. The color could be spotted all over campus from banners to outfits, all in celebration of the women of Etown's wisdom, creativity, and empowerment. Students took it upon themselves to celebrate the wonderful women who make up Etown campus community on the official International Women's Day as well. A full list of Etown Women's History Month events is available at news.etown.edu.
As the Women's History Month gets underway, African American History Month concluded with a festive culinary event. Elizabethtown students gathered on February 25th at the Mosaic House for a night of good food and good times. The Office of Civil Rights, Opportunity, and Access hosted Cooking for the Culture, a dinner celebrating soul food cuisine in America. The dishes included traditional chicken recipes and macaroni salad. The meal was organized and prepared by Assistant Director of the Learning Zone, Jean Thomas. After the food was served, students and faculty in attendance enjoyed a lively night of conversation and kinship.
Are you the next Shakespeare or Emily Dickinson? Do you have short stories, poems, or even stand-up you've been working on? Share it with the world at the Bowers Writers House Open Mic Night. This Monday, March 17th from 7:30 to 9 p.m., Bowers Writers House welcomes all forms of creative writing to be shared and performed. Experience the creativity of Etown students, staff, and faculty, followed by a chocolate fondue reception. Get out there and join the conversation.
Members of the Elizabethtown College campus are invited to a day of giving on March 18th, celebrating the 125th anniversary through the annual Power of One Day. From students and faculty to alumni to friends and family, everyone is encouraged to donate in this all-day event. With the goal of equipping students with the power of knowledge, the Etown community can donate to what they believe can best help the college, whether it's programs, organizations, or sports teams. You can play a pivotal role in building a brighter future. To donate, visit etown.edu/oneday and click Make It Your Gift Now to fill out the form.
Elizabethtown College's Tempest Theater is performing William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream for its spring production. The play will take place at 7:30 p.m. on March 14th and 15th, and then again on the 20th through the 22nd. It will also be performed at 3 p.m. on March 16th. All shows will be held in the Bowers Student Center and are open to the public, with tickets now available online. And in a very special announcement, tonight at 7 p.m., our very own Layla Murphy will be collaborating with C. Gup for the film screening event. The show will be shown of Bob Marley, One Love, which is a biopic about the famous reggae singer. This movie will be shown in Steinman 114, also known as the BLR. Now here's Gwyn Young with your weekly sports update.
Thanks, Ella. It's been a busy couple of weeks for Elizabethtown sports. Spring sports are underway, while the remainder of the winter teams concluded their years. After finishing the season with a national ranking of 20, Elizabethtown women's basketball faced SUNY Brockport in the first round of the Division III Women's Basketball Championship last Friday. Summer McNulty scored 22 points, alongside Danny Ray Reno, who added 21 points and 14 rebounds to beat the Golden Eagles 98-67. They had a second-round matchup against Randolph-Macon the following day and sadly lost 62-56. Aaliyah Kennedy and Kylie Wilson were the only Blue Jays to score double figures as their impressive season came to an end. The men and women's track and field teams traveled to Catholic University of America for the landmark Indoor Conference Championships before the spring break. The men would finish third place, led by Will Inglis and Trevor Albright's golds in their respective events. Albright would also set the championship record in the 400-meter dash. Other top 5 individuals for the men included Joey Wacko and Aspenstall Amig in the weight throw, AJ Sasso in the 800, Daniel Myers in the mile, and Derek Kendig in the 5K. The women would go on to place 6th, led by the women's distance medley relay striking gold. Kelty Oster would earn silver in the mile and 800, while Addison Kleinley, Gwen Young, Miley Neidig, Isabella Cowger, and Kate Bendel would be the other individuals to earn top 5 finishes. At the AAR TFC Indoor Championships in Ithaca, New York last weekend, Kelty Oster once again broke her school record. She placed 3rd in the 400 by running an incredible time of 56.89. Adam Carmo tied a school record in the 60-meter hurdles, coming in at 8.50. Daniel Myers posted a 4:21 mile to take 10th place in the event. Oster will travel to Rochester, New York for the NCAA Division III National Championships, while the rest of the team will set their sights on the outdoor season. Elizabethtown Wrestling took 7th place at regionals 2 weeks ago and saw 2 members of the team qualify for the NCAA Division III Championships. Will Davis and Gannett Smith both placed 2nd in their weight classes, punching their tickets to the championship this weekend in Providence, Rhode Island. Corey Cope, Sawara Niwadomi, and Justin Hockenberry also placed in the top 6, wrapping up a successful season. Women's lacrosse continued their dominant season, blowing out Wilson College 24-2. Madison Henley led the team with 5 goals, while Abby Bach added 4 more, along with 7 assists. Rachel Murphy stood strong in goal, saving 5 shots to secure the win, improving to 4-1. Next up, a trip to Center Valley to take on DeSales this Wednesday. The men's lacrosse team lost a back-and-forth game against Stockton University this past Wednesday. The score was tied 4 separate times, but Elizabethtown came up short 9-12. Jay Rodriguez and Reese Levinson each scored 3 goals, while Braden Franey had 14 saves in goal. The Blue Jays now stand at 2-3, but hope to get back on track when they host Franklin and Marshall this Saturday at noon. This past Saturday, Elizabethtown Baseball hosted Lebanon Valley College in a high-scoring game that came down to the wire. The Blue Jays entered the 8th inning down 7-1. Quentin Pirelli, Nate Moser, and Joe Limongelli were able to bring in 5 runs, making the score 7-6. But a strong 9th inning by the Dutchmen crushed any dreams of a comeback, as Elizabethtown lost 10-8. The team now stands at 7-3, but they remain in first place in the Landmark Conference. They will travel to Wilkes-Barre tomorrow for a 3-game series against the Colonels. Softball kicked off their season by competing in the Spring Games, a series of 8 games taking place in Winter Haven, Florida. Results were mixed as the team came away with a 2-6 record, picking up wins over St. Vincent and Emmanuel. The Blue Jays hope to get things back on track when they host Penn State Harrisburg in a doubleheader this Tuesday at 3 and 5 p.m. WWE fans are still recovering from the shocking events that took place at the Elimination Chamber 2 Saturdays ago. In a move that was 20 years in the making, John Cena finally turned heel, delivering a low blow to Cody Rhodes and aligning himself with the final boss, The Rock. Cena will face Rhodes at WrestleMania in April after punching his ticket by winning the Elimination Chamber. So buckle in, the road to WrestleMania just got a whole lot crazier. The NFL looks quite different as players across the league found new homes after free agency began last Monday. Some notable moves saw quarterback Sam Darnold sign with the Seattle Seahawks and quarterback Justin Fields with the New York Jets. While wide receiver Davante Adams will be going to Los Angeles to play for the Rams, despite requesting a trade from the Cleveland Browns just a few weeks back, defensive end Myles Garrett signed a long-term contract to stay with the team for the foreseeable future. He will be earning $40 million a year, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in the league. That's it for sports. Now here's Layla Murphy with your weekly weather report.
Thanks, Gwen. Welcome to the Weekly Weather Watch, where we cover the weather once a week, rain or shine. I'm your host, Layla Murphy. Today, Friday the 14th, is partly cloudy with a high of 60 and a low of 41. Saturday will be cloudy with a high of 59 and a low of 54. Sunday, we'll have a thunderstorm and windy conditions with a high of 67 and a low of 43. The sun will come back out on Monday with slightly cloudy skies, and we will see a high of 51 and a low of 33. Tuesday will be mostly sunny and we'll have a high of 62 and a low of 40. Wednesday will be partly cloudy, but the temperatures will reach a high of 70 and a low of 46. Finally, Thursday, we will have some rain in the evening and we'll once again see a high of 70 and a low of 38. Thanks for tuning in to the Weekly Weather Watch. I'm Layla Murphy. See you next week. Now back to Phillip and Ella in the studio.
Following the fiery exchange between President Trump and President Zelensky, Ukraine has accepted a ceasefire deal proposed by the United States. The agreement will halt fighting in the air, sea, and on the front lines. During the peace talks held in Saudi Arabia, America and Ukraine were able to mend their fractured relationship, as the nations agreed to work on finishing a mineral deal as well. The ball is now in Russia's court, as the ceasefire will officially begin as soon as the country accepts the terms. A controversial bill was blocked in the Senate this week that would have created a ban preventing transgender women from competing in women's sports. The vote was defined by party lines, as every Republican voted to pass the bill, while every Democrat voted to block it. Ultimately, the Republicans did not get the 60 votes they needed, so the bill will move no further at this time. And lastly, it was announced that this Tuesday that roughly half of the Department of Education will be laid off. Trump has made it clear he plans to drastically alter the department, even threatening to eliminate it entirely. Employees were instructed to leave the building and wait for further word about their future with the department. The dismissals will take effect in 90 days, along with giving those who lost their jobs a severance package.
Pop icon Lady Gaga released her 7th album last Friday, March 7th. The record, entitled Mayhem, received universal acclaim and became the highest-rated album of her career. It was not just critics who praised the release, though. Fans loved that it harkens back to her early days of fame, with similarities from her 2008 album, The Fame, which contains hits like Poker Face and Paparazzi. Mayhem is heavily inspired by the 90s and 2000s, with Gaga stating that 9 Inch Nails and Radiohead were among her influences during the album's creation. CBS competitive reality TV show Survivor began airing its 48th season on February 26, despite beginning its run 25 years ago. The newest season is still making history. Episode 2, which aired on March 5th, included a notable interaction between host Jeff Probst and contestant Mitch Gura, who is the first contestant in the show's history with a speech impediment. In an exchange garnering praise from all over, Probst asked Garna whether he should help when Garna is stuttering, to which he replied that he would like to be allowed to finish his sentences on his own. Audiences took to social media after the episode to share what they were grateful for to learn the proper way to handle the situation. People who stutter celebrated the moment, and the National Stuttering Association highlighted how valuable this interaction was. Survivor is a popular show pulling millions of viewers and now gained a little piece of stuttering education.
That's all for this week, Jays. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ECTV40 for all the latest updates on our shows. I'm Phillip.
And I'm Ella Kocher. Have a great week, and remember to
take flight, Etown.